Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.
All right, guys, aloha. It's me, Daniel, with vintagemagic.com. Hope you guys are having a great day. All right, so today's video, I want to talk briefly about the Hasbro stock tanking basically from like $100 to like 40-something dollars as of today. And kind of what is going on in that kind of world of marketplace. So obviously you guys have seen this. People have been messaging me. I've seen it on the news. That Hasbro stock, if you look at the year to date or something, it was like $100 stock. And now it's gone to basically around $40. You wonder, is this because of the economy? Is this because of the mass printing of sets? What's going on? So I've kind of analyzed this and I have a couple thoughts for you guys. Number one, if you look at like a stock like Shopify, look it up. It's a platform to sell, to create a website, and you basically sell products, and it's a consumer-based website. Other websites like Amazon or other tech websites, they've all gone down this year for a very important reason, because the economy is directly affected because people are worried about consumer spending. The slowdown is real. Like Amazon, for example, announced 10,000 people laid off. It is the biggest in their entire history of their company's, existence. So that shows you that it's not just Hasbro, it's all across the board. There's a recession or warning signs of recession happening, and big corporations are already preparing for this for the winter. So that tells me that the sales are going to be challenging. There's challenges in just the overall perspective. The buyer side is very negative right now. Another thing that also Hasbro had recently was Bank of America announced kind of a double, I don't remember what exactly, but like a double downgrade of Hasbro stock, causing it to plummet even further. And what that basically means is that banks and analysts, they basically analyze based off of the performance and the outlooks of these companies. And they really dive deep. Now, by the way, guys, if you have a financial advisor, please talk to him or her. I am not a licensed financial advisor, but I do follow stocks and stuff, but I'm not licensed. So you don't take your advice from me, but this is my opinion, okay? But maybe a true opinion, you might have to do your research, but again, talk to a financial advisor. So the downgrade actually was very interesting because I also put the link of this below, the Bank of America statement, where basically they feel like the products that are being created are really just a way to bring in cash and try to get the numbers up, but they weren't really growing. They were not authentic. They're not. I forgot the exact wording, but it's very clear that they're very negative towards Hasbro's position on the way they're going to perform in the future. And this has directly correlated to what you've seen with Magic. Magic is the biggest part of the Hasbro brand. Wizards of the Coast is one of the biggest parts. And basically, their revenue, for example, went from like $250 million last year to last quarter to year over year to now $160 million or something. That's a dramatic downturn. And you could blame it on COVID in the sense that, well, during COVID, people had to buy games and other things to be entertained. Yeah, that might be part of it. But is it also because the lack of demand? And that's actually the bigger part of the video I want to kind of address, because as an investor of collectibles, of vintage collectibles and stuff, it's very important to understand that if the collector and the player base of Magic today, the youth, doesn't buy into Magic, how does that affect the older Magic cards? And that's actually one of the most troubling things that I'm concerned about with Magic. Because if Wizards doesn't grow the collector base and the player base and really connect with them, right? There's going to be a negative downturn for the older Magic collectibles. Now, I will say that the older, like the super high-end cards, the Black Lotus artwork, stuff like that, that's not going to be affected. I'm not worried about that. Those are like, you know, Grail type of collectibles. I'm referring to just the Arabian Nights sets, the Legends, Antiquities, the Dark, right? Revised, Dual Lands, stuff like that. If Magic doesn't grow and grow its player base, and people don't stay into the game and continue to collect and get older, pass it down to their kids, etc., there's going to be a real issue because the cards are going to go down even more, and that's a huge concern. Now, I don't think this is going to happen this very second, but I am very concerned. Another link of a video I'll put down is CNBC posted a video about Chris Cox. Yes, his name is Cox, like cock, but with an S. Go figure. Don't know what nationality that is. Probably English. Not sure. But Chris Cox literally said, you know, had an interview a few months ago and talked about kind of the same things I'm talking about and what they're experiencing. He did say in the video he's confident about their portfolio and things, coming up. But that's a concern for me still, because it wasn't like what he was saying was truly a specific thing here and there. It actually seemed very defensive rather than I'm very bullish and aggressive. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. Like when someone talks about their business, they either talk about it in a way of pure, full confidence, or it's, hold on a sec, someone's not. Sorry guys, I'm in Lanai and some guy wanted to give me slippers and I already have slippers. All right, what was I saying? Okay, so in regards to the actual Chris Cox, you know, sum that up, I did not feel like he was confident in the business their current state. It didn't feel like it was, like we're doing this and I'm excited about this and this and this and this and this. It felt very like, oh yeah, we're just kind of going with the flow. And it just didn't feel creative, innovative. You know, like when companies are going to grow with growth, I didn't feel like growth. So it goes to show, like, let's talk about the stocks, right? When the stock was at $100 plus or so with Hasbro, and you really felt like, okay, that's a play of growth because of, hey, people are going to be staying at home more. Gaming is obviously growing itself, you know, that the revenues, the profits, everything, right? There's more growth in that direction. But the thing is, with COVID now ending and people are going back to work, there's going to be less and less gaming and less staying at home. Companies like Tesla or Twitter, like for example, Elon Musk recently bought Twitter, announced that everybody's going to have to start working back at the office. So it's a great example of like corporations, even private companies are saying, hey, we want you back in the office working. That means, believe it or not, less gaming time. Let's be honest. If you are working at home, what were you doing? Working the whole entire time and wearing a suit? No, you're in your boxers playing Magic Arena, MTG Arena, you know, I don't know, watching my channel, Rudy's channel, I don't know, someone else's channel, right? Eating a ham sandwich, you know, drinking some wine. I don't know what you're doing, but you're not just working and sitting there, right? You're actually doing home stuff, doing laundry, whatever. So all these home COVID type of stocks really had a downturn during that time. A downturn during this time. Because if you think about it, you know, consumer spending, why did that go up? Well, there's nothing to do but to spend. The interest rates were low. You could borrow money on the cheap. The government was giving you free money like crazy. And most people didn't really necessarily lose their jobs. They were, people were just given free money every week to buy more stuff. What are you going to buy? Magic cards, collectibles, toys, whatever, right? So that's why the Hasbro stock went up. So I think the Hasbro stock is correcting to what it should be, in my opinion, because I don't think Hasbro stock is really a true ultra growth stock. I mean, and I say that in a very in a way where I think it's, it has a dividend. It's a nice, decent dividend. It's a nice keeper stock. It's kind of like P&G, right? Procter and Gamble, right? You always need Johnson & Johnson. You always need baby powder. You always need, stuff like that, right? But is it really innovative? Is it really like going to change the world? No, probably not. They end up buying another brand. They grow their business, that way, stuff like that, right? That does happen. But Hasbro reminds me a lot of that kind of stock. So again, to sum it up, I think it's partly the economy for sure. And I also think partly it's because Wizards itself or Hasbro itself. Now, the last part of the video, I want to talk about back to my concern. My biggest concern here is, I'll repeat it, is that if Hasbro does not find a way, specifically for Magic the Gathering, to give confidence back to the players and grow that player base, because there's a massive decline. I'll make another video about LGS stores, but I've talked to LGS stores and they've told me I am canceling Magic or doing less stuff with Magic. Now, I'm not going to cancel it altogether. I don't think that was the right word, but I'm going to lower my spend with Magic. And I'll discuss this later on, but they're not doing box breaks as much. Main reason why is because singles, customers are just going online, buying singles, and they're just not really buying boxes. There's no EV, there's no expected value that equates as worth buying. So if you buy a box, wholesale, if you're LGS for like $85, sell it for $110, you're $110, you make $25, $30, whatever, right? That's just box sales, but people aren't even doing it because they're just like, screw it. When I open these packs, I'm getting all this crazy stuff, but the values of resale and stuff, it's not there anymore. And part of that reason why is what I talked about before was consumers have wallet fatigue. They don't have infinite money to spend on Magic. You have to be able to recoup your resources. And when you have 20 or so products like they did this year for Magic products, we have all the secret layers, all this other crap going on 30th anniversary. Customers are going to have wallet fatigue. They're going to run out of money. And with the economy the way it is, people tightening up spending, the recession's looming around, or it's already here. I'm telling you right now, guys, it's going to get worse. So if this continues on, if the pattern continues where the players keep dropping, it's going to be very, very difficult to get players back. This is one of the things I'm also most concerned about is that, think about it this way. If you had a bad experience at a restaurant or a hotel or anything, right? Would you ever go back to that restaurant or hotel? Probably not, right? With Magic, it's an amazing game. You might just come back because of the game. But if you're so just gone through so many bad experiences with Wizards in the sense that, they're not giving back to the players. They're not, making products that speak to players, right? The 30th anniversary set was a total bad PR move itself. It wasn't for the players at all, right? What do you do as a player? The thing is, you're not going to ever come back. You're not going to come back. And most people won't because there's an entry cost now. And think about the higher entry cost level. You're not going to come back to the game anymore. And then you're obviously not going to, you're going to sell out your Magic cards, liquidate it for some money, and move on to the next thing and become an adult, right? So in order for Magic to continue growing, we'll have to discuss this at a later time, they're going to have to do some drastic changes on what their long-term 5-year, 10-year outlook, etc. is. They made some short-term gains for profit that has caused long-term failures for the future. And I think that's one of their biggest problems. Good thing is, though, they recently had a panel interview with a lot of the people at Wizards to kind of talk to community people about kind of where Magic stands, because they see the urgency is there. They see that the revenue's down. They see the player base going down. They see that, people are complaining and getting out. So even though Magic 30 in Vegas was an exciting event, it's nostalgic in some ways. It was great to see people. is that really the path that's really going to grow Magic again? And that's not a good example of it. I really think Magic needs to reconnect with the players, the collectors, the artists, and really get together and find a solution that will put it in the right direction for 2023. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys are doing well. If you ever go to Lanai, one of the most beautiful places to go is the Lanai Four Seasons Sensei. Adults only, everybody. Bye-bye. Hey guys, it's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. I'm here to share with you more about our deck and set collector fulfillment service. The deck fulfillment service caters to the player. And what that basically means is if you are a player looking to fulfill your old school Magic deck, certain Power 9 or key pieces in your Vintage deck, or dual lands in your Legacy deck, we have the inventory and the resources to help you fulfill your needs. Next, we have the set collector fulfillment service. This really caters more towards the collector. Oftentimes I've been asked, hey Dan, can you help me find this specific graded card for this set? Or Dan, can you find me these 20 cards left in my beta set? It doesn't matter what you're looking for, even if it's like every single Sarah Angel possible out there, I can help you out. My resources and extensive network in Magic the Gathering, I was able to help thousands of clients all over the world fulfill their needs. I've made it my mission at VintageMagic.com to be your one-stop shop for all your collector needs. For any significant item or collection, we're able to travel anywhere in the world to meet you. The reason why my clients love this service because it saves you time. What happens is collectors and players often search all over online or vendors and they never find exactly what they're looking for. By going to us, we are the only one-stop shop who can help you with your needs. Using our service gets you exactly what you want and saves you time and money.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.